Empaths and narcissists are often drawn to each other like moths to a flame. This magnetic attraction stems from their contrasting yet complementary energies. Empaths, with their deep well of empathy and compassion, are naturally drawn to those in need. They radiate warmth and understanding, offering a safe haven for the wounded soul. Narcissists, on the other hand, crave admiration and validation. They are masters of charm and manipulation, adept at presenting a facade of confidence and success. This initial encounter is like a siren's call, drawing both parties into a complex and often destructive dance. The empath, driven by their compassionate nature, sees the pain and vulnerability hidden beneath the narcissist's carefully constructed mask. They believe they can heal the narcissist's wounds with their love and understanding. The narcissist, in turn, recognizes the empath's boundless capacity for empathy and sees an opportunity to exploit it for their own gain. This dynamic creates a precarious balance, a relationship built on a foundation of need and fulfillment. The empath provides the narcissist with the constant validation and admiration they crave. The narcissist, in return, offers the empath a sense of purpose, a mission to heal and fix their wounded soul. However, this seemingly symbiotic relationship is ultimately unsustainable, leading to a toxic cycle of emotional dependence and abuse. The empath, constantly giving and receiving little in return, begins to feel drained and depleted. Their energy, once vibrant and flowing, becomes stagnant and heavy. The narcissist, never truly satisfied, demands more and more attention, further depleting the empath's already dwindling reserves. This creates a dangerous imbalance, setting the stage for a relationship fraught with emotional turmoil and pain. The relationship between an empath and a narcissist often resembles a toxic tango, a dance marked by intense passion, manipulation, and control. The empath, driven by their deep capacity for empathy, strives to understand and meet the narcissist's needs, often at the expense of their own well-being. They excuse the narcissist's hurtful behavior, rationalizing it as a byproduct of their past traumas or insecurities.
I thought if I could just love him enough, he would change. I believed his pain was something I could heal.
The narcissist, in turn, exploits the empath's compassion, using it as a tool to maintain control and dominance within their relationship. This toxic dance is characterized by a cyclical pattern of idealization, devaluation, and discard. In the initial stages of the relationship, the narcissist idealizes the empath, showering them with attention, compliments, and grand gestures of affection. This love-bombing tactic serves to disarm the empath, creating a false sense of security and intimacy.
You're the most amazing person I've ever met. I can't imagine my life without you.
As the relationship progresses, the narcissist begins to devalue the empath, criticizing their flaws, belittling their accomplishments, and undermining their self-esteem. This shift in behavior is often subtle at first, making it difficult for the empath to recognize the insidious nature of the abuse. The discard phase marks the final stage of this toxic tango. The narcissist, having depleted the empath's emotional reserves, grows bored and seeks out new sources of narcissistic supply. They may abruptly end the relationship, leaving the empath feeling confused, abandoned, and emotionally devastated.
One day he just left. No explanation, no closure. I was left to pick up the pieces on my own.
In some cases, The narcissist may maintain a superficial connection with the empath, keeping them on the sidelines as a backup source of validation and support. This cyclical pattern of idealization, devaluation, and discard can have devastating consequences for the empath's emotional and psychological well-being. They may begin to doubt their own perceptions, question their self-worth, and struggle to trust their own instincts. The trauma of this experience can linger long after the relationship has ended, leaving the empath feeling wounded, vulnerable, and apprehensive about forming new connections. Setting boundaries is crucial for anyone, but it's especially vital for empaths in relationships with narcissists. Empaths, with their natural inclination to help and heal, often struggle to establish and maintain healthy boundaries. They may feel guilty or selfish for prioritizing their own needs, fearing that it will lead to conflict or rejection. However, setting boundaries is not about being selfish. It's about self-preservation. It's about recognizing your own worth and refusing to allow others to violate your emotional, physical, or mental space.
Setting boundaries with a narcissist can be challenging, as they often resist any attempts to limit their control or manipulate the situation to their advantage. They may react with anger, guilt trips, or passive-aggressive behavior, attempting to undermine your resolve and regain their position of power. It's essential to remain firm and consistent with your boundaries, even when it's difficult. Remember that you have the right to protect yourself and your well-being.
I had to learn to say no, to stand up for myself even when it was hard. It was a process, but it was necessary for my own peace of mind.
Start by identifying your non-negotiables, those values and principles that are fundamental to your sense of self. These might include your need for respect, honesty, and emotional safety. Once you've identified your non-negotiables, communicate them clearly and directly to the narcissist. Use I statements to express your needs and boundaries without blaming or accusing the other person. For example, instead of saying, "You're always making me feel bad," try saying, "I feel disrespected when you speak to me in that tone."
Enforcing your boundaries is just as important as setting them. When the narcissist attempts to cross your boundaries, calmly and assertively reiterate your limits. Be prepared for resistance and manipulation tactics. They may try to guilt you into giving in, minimize your feelings, or promise to change their behavior. Remember that actions speak louder than words. Trust your instincts and don't be afraid to walk away from the situation if the narcissist refuses to respect your boundaries.